Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. Looks like we're gonna have a pretty warm day today. Probably close to 80 degrees and the same tomorrow. So, here we are mid-November and getting close or probably topping 80 degrees. That's pretty warm. And the outlook for at least the next, 8-10 days is maybe not that warm, but still staying pretty warm. So it's been a strange year for weather. So what can I say? I mean, that's just the way it is. That's why as homesteaders, we have to have contingency plans for when the weather doesn't play along like we want it to. Okay, so for those of you that's never produced food, lived out in the country, and kind of the weather is very dependent, or what you do is very dependent upon the weather. Don't think that you can just predict it that easy. So anyways, so yesterday the Department of War, now it's not officially the Department of War. It's what the president and the White House administration is calling it. But according to the Constitution, that's the Congress's job to determine the name of it, and they have not voted on it. So it's interesting that this administration is doing things that are unconstitutional. They're just doing it. And yesterday, the Secretary of War placed a new sign on the front of the Pentagon stating that it was the Department of War. They're saying that it will estimates are about $2 billion to change everything over, all the wording on all the documentation and signage and buildings and planes and everything. About $2 billion to switch the name. So anyways, the Department of War announced that there is a new military operation, Southern Spear, in the Caribbean. Did not specifically say Venezuela, but that they are going to be doing what they've been doing, but more of it, taking out narco-terrorism, and basically a regime change is what the goal is. So it's more of what we expected, and with the things that's happened in the last couple of weeks, like I've been saying, I think we should expect something in the next few days, this weekend maybe. At the same time, it was announced this morning that Iran seized an oil tanker in the Strait of Hormuz. And so, like I was saying yesterday, the attention seems to be starting to kind of come back to Iran. There for a while, especially after the little 12-day war there with Iran and Israel and us, it kind of died down a little bit. A lot of other stuff's been going on, so that hasn't been a hot topic. But now that they've seized this oil tanker with the I think it was flagged from the Marshall Islands. I haven't dug into who actually owned it, if it was some Western nation, Israel or the United States or whatever. But they seized that in their waters. And the last week or two, there has been a growing amount of conversation about Iran and their rebuilding of weapons and all that kind of stuff. So again, the question is, I don't know that the answer matters at all, maybe, but who are we going to strike first? Where is the attention? Maybe it's both. Maybe we do both. But something has to happen, because is the attention being drawn to Iran or Venezuela? That's what I was trying to say. But something has to happen, I would think, because of the very negative attention that's being brought upon the president and the White House administration. It's been a rough couple of weeks. And this stuff with Epstein, I know a lot of people say they don't care. And my opinion is if you believe that, if you truly believe it doesn't matter, then probably shouldn't just be watching this channel at all. You just need to go somewhere else. You're not really welcome here. It's my channel, I can say that. But there's more and more MAGA Republicans, not directly necessarily, but they're trying to imply that, well, it's not that big of a deal, that, you know, maybe the president and other people like younger girls and stuff. It's not like they're, you know, 5-year-olds and 8-year-olds, you know, kind of downplaying. It's so strange because it's not just strange, but it shows exactly what I've been saying for the last several years, that the psyops and the psychological manipulation is so real. I mean, 2 years ago, let's just say 2 years ago, it was just constant about, you know, how bad these elites are when it comes to pedophilia and things. You know, after Epstein killed himself, you know, there was this global campaign that just, you know, came out of nowhere of, you know, Epstein didn't kill himself and all of this kind of stuff. And there was constant videos and documentaries made constant about this. And amongst the Republicans, the conservatives, the MAGA people, it was a hot topic that we've got to get to the bottom of this, that all of these elites, the evil, dark things that they're doing. And then now that the tables turned to where the savior of the MAGA people may be one of the central figures in all of this, especially according to some of these emails, now it's not a big deal. Just ignore it and move on. And I don't plan to move on. I'm not going to talk about it every day, but I'll talk about it often. It's always strange to me. And here's the thing: the Epstein thing's not a left or right thing. It's not. And that's what the Democrats now and the Republicans before were trying to make it. It's a left versus right. It's not. They're all in it. Every time I make a video, I'm sure today will be follow through. Every time I make a video talking about Epstein, the views for that video just go through the floor. I mean, they just plummet. I believe because it's being held back. And in fact, there's been a couple of times that I've tested it where I've had really good videos, like the views are going up. I'm on a you know, just this cycle, and all of a sudden I'll throw an Epstein video out there and they just plummet. They don't want you to talk about it. Yes, I know the Democrats are talking about it only because it makes it look like it's hurting Trump, but in the end, they don't want anything really truly done about it. And now we're seeing a lot of MAGA people doing the same thing. It's just, it's absolute corruption. This is what I talk about, what I mean when I talk about to you about the preparedness of you know, being psychologically prepared, because they're capable of manipulating you so much, and you get wrapped up in believing this one thing or following this one thing, and it ends up being just as evil as the other. So we have to be strong and keep focused. And yeah, this is evil. It's evilness. And as far as I'm concerned, I wish they would all just be exposed and find a tall tree and a good strong piece of rope. But that's not going to happen, and you and I know that. And so that's why I think that we're going to see some action because of that. Also, the markets right now, the markets, Bitcoin, all of that is reacting very negatively, I think, to a lot of the stuff that's being talked about. And JP Morgan Bank is saying that they believe within the next few days, probably next week, that the Fed will start dumping about $300 billion in liquidity into the market, meaning that they're going to just create out of thin air $300 billion. And so right now the markets aren't reacting too well to all this stuff that's going on. I think they're just nervous because there's so much, there's little rumors out there online that's starting to grow that, you know, Trump may not even finish this term, all this kind of stuff. And I'm not saying that I believe that, but there's definitely a lot of fear and chaos right now. And so to get everyone to focus their focus away from all of that, you know, Iran and Venezuela look pretty good targets. And like I said, it may be both. I mean, there are a few other things that could happen, but I think those are very likely. It just shows you, like I said, the ability to manipulate people. I've said for years, all the conspiracies surrounding MK Ultra and all these talk of different Hollywood actors and actresses that's been through the MK Ultra program. Those were just test subjects. MK Ultra is being done on a daily basis to everyone through the media. Yes, it's a broader spectrum, and it's not quite as finite and detailed and to each person, but it's being done all the time. And only those that are spiritually sound and solid in the Father and Yeshua, and those that are mentally understanding of that and prepared, I think, will be the ones that can survive it, because it's happening constantly. I just sit back and I watch so many good people, some that I personally know, that get wrapped up in it, and they get caught up in the psyop and believing things, and it's going to get worse. Technology is still going to keep growing. Yesterday, J.D. Vance did an interview talking about praising, AI and robotics and how it's just going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread. The digital currency, cryptocurrency, stable coin, all that kind of stuff is still being pushed. And, war, lots and lots of war. So, I know today's video is a lot like several videos I've made this week, but the point is that we have to realize that this stuff is coming together, and we're very quickly moving down this path of destruction, chaos, hitting the bottom, so that, of course, we can rise up and be something new again. It's disgusting, but we've known it's going to happen for a long time. And so the best thing that we can do is just continually prepare. I know that I'm a broken record, and you all are sitting there thinking, that's what I'm doing. Well, good. Keep it up. Don't stop. That now is not the time to take and go on vacation when it comes to your preparedness. It's not. Is the world really, really bad right now? No, not really. But it's bad. It's getting there. And, looking forward, 6 months, 12 months down the road, I don't think we have a good prognosis. And I think it would behoove you to really buckle down and get yourselves and get your house in order. So anyways, possibly could be an interesting weekend. See what happens. I would be paying some good attention to this and preparing, because here's the thing: if we did, I'm not saying we will, if we did attack Iran and Venezuela at the same time, market's going to react to that one. Two largest oil reserve countries, just about. Venezuela's the largest, Iran's one of the biggest. Definitely going to have some market reaction on that, some panic and stuff. So I would, if I were you, be kind of getting yourselves ready. All right, folks, it's time to get your houses in order, to prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.